I'm joined in studio by Alan Craig, the CEO of the not-for-profit project Isizwe, that is doing something that, let's face it, we all want, bringing free Wi-Fi to South Africa. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Free Wi-Fi to South Africa, what is the catch?
Oh, there's no catch really. We've just managed to figure out a way to roll out a free Wi-Fi network at a price that it's affordable for the government to pay for.
So how does it work?
Oh, the long and the short of it is we broke the cost of building a telco down into 4 little pieces. At the end of it, we realized the key was to work with the municipality. And the city of Tshwane were the first municipality that kind of saw the potential and gave us a deal to roll out capacity for 25,000 people in Mamelodi, Atteridgeville, and Soshanguve. And from our perspective, the idea was, if you've got a little bit of money in the world, never mind in South Africa, you can get on the internet to your heart's content. But the guys who probably are going to be most empowered by what the internet does are the guys living in the low-income communities, and they're the guys who literally can't get on the grid because they can't afford it. So, out of Tshwane came a surprising success that we managed to kind of get it out there, and the price per gig is about R1. So if you were to compare that to 3G, we're offering a huge value for money. Of course, there's no such thing as a totally free lunch. The government is paying. But the way they frame it is they frame it like water and electricity. Everybody in the country should be entitled to a certain amount of water and electricity, and data should be no different. So we give the guys in Tshwane a 7.5 gig cap a month, and and now it's kind of gone from this very small first phase to we should have capacity for 1 million people in the next couple of months.
So what is the process of rolling out this free Wi-Fi for Project Isizwe?
Well, there's 4 big, there's 4 big factors. If you want to roll out a telco, I don't know if you've rolled out a telco of late. I can tell you it's overrated. It's not easy. It's a lot of challenges and it's expensive. And the 4 big cost components are your network itself. Costs a lot of money to roll out a network, and we had to figure out which technology to use. So, in a country like South Africa, you really only can use 3G or Wi-Fi, because those are the only technologies where there are enough devices in the market already. Copper, it gets stolen, and fiber is just too expensive to roll out, especially into the communities where you want it to be. So once we made the decision about wireless, it was between 3G and Wi-Fi, and a 3G base station can cost you up to 250,000 Rand, whereas Wi-Fi, in the last 5 years, the equipment costs have come down by an order of magnitude. It gets the price down to 10,000 Rand, so that's 25 times cheaper. So that is the first part. We managed to get the cost of rolling out our network really low. The second part is we managed to find a partner in bandwidth, so Neotel. We explained to them, we said, listen guys, you've got all this capacity sitting in the ground. You're not necessarily using it all. We can open up an entirely new market for you if you'd like. And of course, you're going to make a hell of a difference to the country. And to their credit, and my eternal gratitude, the guys came on without even hesitating. So we managed to get bandwidth down to a price that it didn't cost an arm and a leg to break out to the World Wide Web. And then we find a local wireless internet service provider, one of these little guys that have popped up in the absence of a decent telecom, to be honest. You've got these little guys that are connecting households in the wealthy areas, and they've got the skills to roll out Wi-Fi networks, but they're not doing anything in the low-income communities because there's no money there. But we go and find them, we basically channel the money to them, and they go and roll it out to maintain it for us. And the net outcome of all of that is a data network that costs a fraction of what it costs to roll out 3G, and the man on the street can afford.
Let's talk about the man on the street then. In Tshwane, for instance, how does he or she access this Wi-Fi now? Very
simple. You look for your your nearest Wi-Fi spot. It'll say City of Tshwane free Wi-Fi. You click on it. You'll be given a page, a clean white page. In the middle, it'll say connect. You click connect, and off you go. There's no advertising. There's no username, passwords. There's no mess. There's no fuss. And our average speeds in Pretoria at the moment are 7 megs a second.
So talk to us about the inauguration. I understand Project Isizwe rolled out free Wi-Fi during that.
Yeah, the city came to us and said, could we accelerate the rollout for the union buildings? It was always going to be part of the program, so that the 20,000 or so spectators, I guess, on the South Lawn would be able to get on the grid. So, we were given quite a short timeline, but in the end we managed to get a network up using Ruckus wireless technology, actually, and it turns out it's some of the best technology in the world, where we put these kind of base stations on trees, so they became like tree Wi-Fi. And all around the kind of main field where there was a massive stage and speakers, etc., 20,000 people all there, all of them could connect. We ended up with about a total of 5,500 people connecting. And again, the speeds were incredibly fast. So it was quite exciting to be part of it. And to be honest, a lot of our engineers and technicians on the ground, they said it changed their life just to see how, see South African politics up close.
So where can we expect the next rollout?
Well, we've got Western Cape. Western Cape issued a tender a little while ago. We were given a project to roll out capacity for 10,000 people in Robertson and 10,000 people in Atlantis. And I guess that's going to go live in the next couple of months. And we're quite hopeful that, on the basis of that, and when they see the viability and the speed with which you can do this, you don't have to wait 10 years for a national broadband plan to be rolled out. In the meantime, small municipalities and provincial administrations can start rolling it out for the guy on the street and make a difference from tomorrow. For me, the dream is the whole country. I see no reason why you can't have a national Wi-Fi grid, a national free Wi-Fi grid. No one contends that the internet doesn't make a hell of a big difference in people's lives. And I think the fact that we're cracking the economics of the whole thing means there's no reason people and government shouldn't be kind of running with it. But of course, South Africa is just the start. If you think about sub-Saharan Africa, it's the same issue. We are the dark continent in terms of data, information, people connecting to one another and to the internet. And if we can just be a little bit part of that movie, I think it'll be worthwhile.
Now, Alan, you wrote the text that we all emailed to each other, Don't Panic, about your optimism for South Africa. Is this project in line with that, in your optimism for our country?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, firstly, let me just say I want to buy a jet one day. I want to own a really big jet. I've got to be able to fly from Cape Town to New York in a non-stop, which means I'm going to need a lot of money. And my intent was never to kind of get into this non-profit game. But the surprising success of what was really a side project to start has meant I've come to terms with the fact I'm parking the jet for a little bit and thinking about making the most of this momentum we have. Now, my perspective on South Africa is positive. It's always been positive, and the reason for that is I've been privileged to be able to travel a lot. And the more you travel in the world, to the first world and the third world, the more you come back to South Africa going, I am living the dream. This is the best bloody country in the whole world, for reasons other than emotion. Of course, it's home, and of course, there's braais and there's cricket. But there's also hard facts and rational reasons to say that South Africa offers the best of all worlds. It has first world infrastructure, it's got third world opportunity. And it really boils down to if you want to get ahead in life. If you want to go sideways in your life, then there are probably better places to live. But if you want to try get ahead, economically, and as well as make a difference in people's lives, well, this is the place to be. And it's a launching pad into the rest of Africa. And the nice thing about Project Isizwe and free Wi-Fi is, for me at least, I can tell my kids I'm doing something. So if our country doesn't pan out the way I hope it does, no one's going to say that I was just sitting on the sidelines. I'm not in government. I'm not sure I'm a politician, but what we can do from the side is, the telecoms perspective, perhaps accelerate the rollout of internet.
Who knows? Maybe the rollout of internet will get you that jet after all.
Yeah, well, hopefully one day. At the very least, there are more people on the internet, the more opportunity there is for e-commerce, etc.
Right. So can we expect a follow-up to Don't Panic?
Well, we did actually do a follow-up.
The follow-up to the follow-up?
Follow-up to the follow-up? Well, I hope not. The reason that we had to do the second edition was people were panicking again, And why do people panic? A lot of it's just elections, There's always this disruption just before elections. I guess I'd like to start, telling people why they should panic, because that means everybody's kind of feeling happy and maybe a little bit too secure. It's when people are negative about the future that it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And unless people are 100%, if we don't all understand that this is the best place and this is our future and we have to be 100% all in, we don't have any chance of making it. If you think you're going to fail, you've got a 100% chance of failing. If you think you're going to succeed, you've got a 90% chance of failing. But at least you've got that shot of success, and I think we've got a shot.
Thank you very much for chatting to us today.
Thank you.